Ever notice how, like, when your internet goes out, it suddenly hits you just how much you depend on it?
Oh, yeah, totally. It's like you don't realize how much you use something till it's gone.
Right. And that's kind of what happened with TikTok the other day. Went down in the US. Big outage.
Yeah, I saw that. Millions of users, right? Must have been a total headache.
Total headache, for sure. But the interesting thing is, the reaction to the outage was, well, kind of unexpected.
Really? How so?
So we've been diving into some articles and comments, and instead of people just being mad at TikTok like you'd expect, there's all this frustration aimed at, get this, Meta and Instagram.
Huh. That's interesting. Like they were the ones who messed up.
Yeah, kind of. Like users were mad that Instagram wasn't a good enough replacement while TikTok was down.
So it wasn't just, ugh, TikTok is down. It was more like, ugh, TikTok is down, and now I'm stuck with this.
Exactly. And a lot of that seems to be tied to Reels, Instagram's answer to TikTok.
Yeah.
You following this at all?
Oh, absolutely. Reels have been a big talking point since they launched. And yeah, I can see why there might be some disappointment during the TikTok outage.
Okay, so let's break this down. Why are users so attached to TikTok? What makes it so different that even a temporary outage sends people scrambling for, well, anything BUT Instagram?
All right, so first off, we got to talk about the algorithm. TikTok's algorithm is kind of famous for its, how do I put this? Its ability to catapult anyone into viral stardom.
Right, I've heard about that.
Yeah.
Like, you don't even need a huge following. You just need the right content, and boom, you're everywhere.
Exactly. It's all about discovery. The algorithm pushes content it thinks people will like, regardless of who posted it. That's different from, say, Instagram, where your reach is way more dependent on your follower count.
So it feels more organic, more
Yeah.
like anyone has a shot at getting their content seen.
Totally. And that feeds directly into the community vibe on TikTok.
The community, another big thing, right? Everyone talks about the TikTok community.
For sure. See, on TikTok, trends, sounds, challenges, they spread like wildfire organically. It creates this shared experience, like being in on a giant inside joke with millions of people.
So it's not just about watching videos. It's about being part of something bigger, something fun, something trendy.
Right. And that sense of belonging, that's powerful. That's something Instagram, even with Reels, hasn't quite managed to replicate.
I get it. It's like knowing all the lyrics to a song, but someone else is singing it and they're a little off key. It's just not the same. It's funny, though, you think about it. Every time a platform tries to copy another, it never quite nails it,
Oh, I know exactly what you mean. It happens all the time, not just in social media. You see it in tech, in fashion, everywhere.
Yeah. It's like there's some secret sauce that just can't be replicated. So from Meta's perspective, what's the play here? I mean, they got to keep up with the competition, but is copying features really the way to go?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? It's a balancing act. On the one hand, they can't just ignore TikTok's success. They got to stay relevant. But on the other hand, they risk diluting their own brand.
Right, alienating their existing users.
Yeah.
I mean, if I loved Instagram for its photography and aesthetic, I might not be thrilled if it suddenly felt like TikTok Lite.
Exactly. And, this whole situation with the outage, it really exposes how deep user loyalty can run, especially for a platform like TikTok.
Yeah, and especially for creators who have built entire careers on TikTok.
Oh, for sure. For them, this isn't just a fun app, it's their livelihood. They've built their audiences, their income streams, all around TikTok's unique ecosystem. When it goes down, it's not just an inconvenience, it's a hit to their business.
Right, it's a whole different ballgame. And I think that's what makes this conversation so interesting. Is TikTok becoming something more than just another social media platform? Is it becoming, I don't know, essential?
I think that's a valid question. The outage really highlighted how central TikTok has become to people's lives, not just for entertainment, but for income, for connection, for community.
And it kind of puts the pressure on other platforms, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Like, if they want to truly compete with TikTok, can they just copy the features? Or do they need to offer something genuinely different?
Yeah, that's the big challenge, isn't it? And what does different even mean in the world of social media, which is constantly changing and evolving? I mean, how do you create something unique and valuable in that kind of environment?
It's a tough one, for sure. And that's a question for all of us to think about, right? As users, as creators, as people just trying to navigate this crazy digital world, what are we looking for in a platform? What makes it stand out from the crowd? What makes us stick around?
Absolutely. We've all got our own answers to those questions, I guess.
Exactly. And maybe, just maybe, thinking about those answers will help us understand this whole TikTok phenomenon a little bit better.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Well, that's about it for today's deep dive. Thanks for joining us. Lots to think about, right?
And let's be honest, TikTok's probably going to keep throwing us curveballs whether we're ready or not.
Oh, I'm sure of it. The one constant in social media is change.
Truer words have never been spoken. Until next time, keep on scrolling, keep on thinking, and keep the conversation going.